Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Open Book. I am Billy Price. I'm one of the two co-founders of Open Book. Let me take that back. I'm one of the two co-founders of BILLY Footwear, and this is Open Book. And I love Open Book. If this is your first time to Open Book, let me kind of set the stage for you. One of the reasons I love Open Book is, as the name implies, we, as a brand, we are an open book. We'll talk about anything. But also the functionality of our shoes. I don't know if you've noticed, but having that zipper on the outside of the shoe, how it goes around the toe, when it's unzipped, it does open up like a book. So when you're stepping into your shoes, you really are stepping into a new chapter of your individual story. And when you zip that thing shut, you're saying yes to a new day. But another thing I love about Open Book is we have the opportunity to share the screen with amazing folks that we collaborate with. And that includes amazing customers and amazing people that are just part of the BILLY family. So today, I am so honored to have Erik and Amber Enriquez on Open Book. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Well, I am really excited for our conversation. I know in our pre get together in preparation for this call, you were telling me a little bit about your son, Benjamin. Could you please tell us and share with the rest of the group a little bit about your son?
Of course.
Absolutely. So our son Benjamin is a miracle all on his own. He is just over 2 years old. He'll be 3 this summer. And like I said, he's a miracle. I was not supposed to be able to birth a child. And a couple years into our marriage, we were blessed with finding out that we were pregnant. Fast forward through an amazing, healthy pregnancy, we have a wonderful little boy. And as we started to love and grow with our boy outside of the womb in real life, we were noticing that some extra help was necessary, and we had to get a medical team together and start the process of getting some answers about our wonderful boy. And about 2 years ago, we finally started receiving answers and understand now that our son has cerebral palsy. So it's a challenge, and we're learning new things every day, exciting, emotional, frustrating, gratitude, all the things. And just every day grateful that we have each other and our boy.
Well, first off, thank you so much for sharing. And so how old is Benjamin now?
2 and 7 months, 7-8 months.
2 and 7 months. So what does the daily life look like for a 2 and 7 month year old?
Well, Amber's the one that gets him ready for school in the mornings usually.
Mm-hmm.
I know that could be a struggle sometimes. I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it varies. A great morning looks like starting around 6:30, and then waking up, navigating, getting him dressed, getting him ready for his day, getting him ready for school. He does go to school 3 days a week, and I have all of his medical appointments and therapies the other 2 days of the week.
Sometimes I wake up early for work, so I'll be up at like 4 in the morning, and sometimes he'll wake up with me and he just will refuse to go back to bed.
Happy, smiling,
just ready to go. He's at 100% in the morning.
Well, now as a parent of 2 kids, I got a 6-year-old and 3-year-old, and she's not quite 3. She'll be 3 at the end of this month. And isn't that the truth? I mean, they wake up before we are, and they're amped up with energy, and I don't know where they get it. I wish I could take a sip of that magic elixir. I mean, where that energy comes from, it's just absolutely incredible.
Us too. And he is definitely 2. I and Erik are really starting to learn that he is 2 years old. He's starting to be able to be defiant and have his own way of wanting to do things. So for him, his right side is affected. And, he doesn't dress himself or feed himself, or the use of his right hand is very limited. So he needs a lot of support from us and requires that we do the dressing and support him in ways where he can be successful with feeding. And so sometimes great mornings, other times really stressful, and even with the best intentions, we run behind.
Yeah. As you're telling me your story, it just kind of takes me a trip down memory lane. And so I have a disability. I use a wheelchair. I had a spinal cord injury. I suffered a spinal cord injury when I was 18 years old, and it was a three-story head first fall of concrete, and where I broke my neck, my lower back. And it's a situation where I don't really have very good hand dexterity. I can move my wrist, but I can't move my fingers, and also not full arm function. And it really, it certainly wasn't my plan to be someone with a disability, but we just kind of had to adapt to it and figure things out along the way. But I remember when when the injury first occurred, it was such a curveball, and I was just really grasping for kind of answers, but also grasping for more like a community that I could kind of bond with, to maybe not necessarily get all the answers, but at least have a shoulder to cry on if need to, but also just to be able to like share and express like tough emotion, but also like come together to be able to help find solutions. So I'm just kind of curious, like on the journey that you're on right now, are there organizations or communities that you've been able to connect with?
Yeah, we really lean into family.
Mm-hmm.
That is where we receive our most emotional support. And really, if it's okay, the connection we have to BILLY Footwear in particular has truly changed our lives. It's what we felt from an organization, our first sense of relief and answers to specific needs that we had for our son, that I didn't even know was available or possible. And getting that knowledge in and of itself, I remember trying to find shoes for Benjamin, and it's not something that I ever thought I'd have to prepare for. It's, you have a kid, you think things are going to be the way they are, and then like you said, we have that curveball. And I remember being store after store and just bawling and questioning, is he going to be comfortable? Is he going to be able to wear his brace? And at the very beginning part, is he even going to be able to walk? There's so many questions going through our mind. And when we found BILLY Footwear, we had a sense of relief and gratitude immediately.
Wow. Well, Amber, thank you for that. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. And I mean, that hits me right in the heart in such a positive way. I mean, just like our journey. But I'm kind of curious, can you expand on, I mean, were you in a store and you happened to see it, or was it more like word of mouth? Someone shared it. Like, can you talk more about how you found the brand?
Well, I remember, I don't know, maybe one day we visited like 3 different stores and just trying shoe after shoe, trying to fit the shoe on the AFO was just real struggle. And like Amber mentioned, I remember her like breaking down in tears, and we hugged in the middle of the store.
Yeah. And then from there went home. So at that point, there was no BILLY, just felt defeat.
Oh yeah.
And then through talking to family, someone had actually met you at a convention in Arizona. And then within that same week, our clinic where he gets his braces made, communicated with us that he has an amazing resource for us. And as he was getting fitted for his second AFO, he provided us with our first pair of Billies, and we left. And again, crying, sobbing, grateful, because we had just heard about this amazing shoe that we had to look into. Fast forward to an appointment within a few days, we had a pair, and were gifted a pair from our provider. Again, I can't express the gratitude that we have.
Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys. I mean, so this whole thing, it's just so wild to me. This whole thing, it started in my parents' basement. It started in my parents' basement like 10 years ago. And it's just been a positive experience and people sharing and getting it out there. And it's been able to allow us to get connected like this. So, wow. Boy, your story is so surreal to me. That's absolutely incredible. Boy.
Thank you.
Well, so let's go. Okay. So let's talk about something else, because you're going to make me cry. So back on Benjamin. So, he's a growing kiddo for sure. And me now being a parent, I definitely see these kids growing. What's next for Benjamin? I mean, obviously like getting him involved and like getting him out there, like being proactive and stuff like that. But, what do you see, coming his way, when you look like 1 year, 2 years down the road?
Yeah. A couple years before we know it, he's going to be in school full time. So we're starting to navigate, our education system and what that's going to look like for him. One of the things that I know we both are continuing to have a challenge with is finding that balance of looking forward to what's going to happen and also recognizing we don't know what that's going to look like for him developmentally, him being Benjamin. So we as parents have to be ready to advocate and support for his needs going into education, so that way he can have the best chances of success for him in any environment that he's placed in. Really, really being aware of his needs and his adaptability, and having supports in place from our community, from our family, and feeling connected to individuals, so that way we can learn and grow together.
Yeah.
Where are you located?
We are in Arizona, way west Arizona.
Okay. And because I mean we're talking live here, so there's be a lot of folks like all around the U.S. and certainly in Arizona too. I'm just can you name the actual town as well?
Buckeye.
Okay, awesome. So I mean community. I mean we are very much a community brand. So anyone in like the Buckeye, Arizona area, or just Arizona in general, if you know of any programs out there that to get connected, or overarching programs that can look like further down the line, or resources and whatnot, I mean, boy, please share. It'd be awesome for people to be able to chime in.
Yes.
Well, guys, I want to be respectful of your time, but I certainly appreciate your time here. I guess just kind of one more question, and it kind of sends back to the shoes. I mean, it's just so incredibly powerful. What we've experienced, word of mouth. I mean, word of mouth compounding over and over and over has gotten us connected in this way. And one thing that's so wild to me is it's like, yes, we're a brand that sells shoes, but it ends up being more than a shoe. Like the shoe ends up being that like checking of the box that empowers you to be able to get outside, to be able to do things bigger than yourself, or just be able to get outside to be able to be proactive. And I'm just kind of curious. I know that Amber, you're an ambassador now. I'm just kind of curious ways that you've been able to like share maybe news about the brand, but also share your personal experience.
Yes, we have just started, and Benjamin receives therapy services, OT, PT, and speech. And so we have started connecting with United Cerebral Palsy. In particular, there's Arizona locations, and I've been able to have tremendous contact with someone in the Queens location in New York. So that has been our first official, communication and supporting one another. After that, we're doing kind of like a research of what the community has available and how we can support them in offering resources and community and being there to share what we have to offer and our stories, and hopefully hearing lots and lots of stories and being there to support them as well.
Yeah, it is amazing. I mean, the word of mouth sharing, and the stories that we share aren't necessarily easy. They're not easy to share because there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in there. But I truly believe there's so much strength in one's vulnerability. Like when we're able to be vulnerable and really share from the heart, that authentic story and that emotion, it really does build a very strong community. And I've been fortunate to be able to reap the benefits of like a lot of folks ahead of me, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing to share and work together.
Absolutely. We're beyond grateful for you, for everything that Billy has to offer. So thank you for everything that you and everybody involved is doing and continues to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much. I mean, it means the world of us to have you as a customer, and it means just absolutely the world to me hearing your success story. I mean, it really touches my heart in a very positive way.
Thank you.
Well, you guys, thank you again for your time. This is amazing. Everyone else out there, this is the Enriquez family. Follow them on Facebook. They have a Facebook. You check them out on Facebook, learn more about the family, and also keep following us on Open Books. We'll have another episode of Open Book again real soon. So until then,